Thank you for being here, a lot of people. That's great. One question, how many developers do we have here? Hands up, please. Okay. And we are here to talk about build things without code.
Yeah.
Okay. The exit is there.
Yeah, I think it's open. It's open, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We can run away.
So, let's start. I'm just kidding. I think it's very, very important to know that in Liferay we are working in the way to use the no-code, low-code in all the places that we have just to make your life better, okay? And why? It's easy.
Yeah. So how do you ever feel this way? I'm a developer, and I can say that many times I felt like that. Mainly with the pressure that we have daily. Sometimes we need to integrate with other systems just to create an API. Sometimes we have not a good amount of time to do it, and some pressure from the product team. So,
yeah, and we are going to do it with no code.
So during this talk, we're gonna split in three different blocks. First of all, we're gonna see what is API Builder, what can we do with API Builder, and then to see which use cases we could cover with that. Then we will have a quick look over the architecture of API Builder, how we have developed API Builder in Liferay, and also we will see so the data model that we are using. And yeah, we will see mainly what can I do with API Builder. In the second block, we will have some time for a live demo. I double check the branch again.
It will work.
The demo. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And in the third block, Beni?
Yeah, we are going to have time just to talk about the future, the things that we are going to improve in the API Builder, and for sure time for your questions and our answers. So, let's start. What is API Builder? I think is the first approach that we need to have. API Builder is, just a deep breath, an application for both developers and non-developers that enables the creation of custom APIs over libraries using a low-code, no-code approach. Oh my God, too complex, but too easy. At the end, as Marco Leo said this morning in the talk, we build API Builder using all the capabilities that we have inside Liferay. We don't need to create new thing. We just build the API Builder with the things that we have right now. But, and there's always but, API Builder is in beta. Oh, thank you. That means that, first of all, the easy thing is that if you want to use API Builder, you have it in the product, but you need to enable it using the beta feature flag, okay? Just only 2 clicks, easy. Another thing is that maybe when you try to use API Builder, you will find some issues or something that is not working properly. Okay, we are trying to fix everything. But the 2 important things that you have to take into account if you want to use the API Builder is that the data model will change because we are going to improve the API Builder with some capabilities. So we will change some things. The good thing here is that you can export and import everything that you have in API Builder, so don't worry about it. And the second thing is that if you want to use it in a production environment, think twice about it because it's in beta. Okay? Apart from that, please, and this is something that we will appreciate a lot, use it, taste it, try to use it with your real use cases because you are the one that are very, very, very close with the real use cases, the partners and the customers that say, okay, I need this or I need that. and send this feedback to us, because the way we are improving the API builder is trying to make our best for you. You are, at the end, the one that are going to use it, okay?
So what about the architecture? Well, we have developed API Builder on top of objects. So we used objects for persisting our data. All the elements that we need for an application, like endpoints, schemas, etc., all the configuration, we use objects for storing that information. So this is a very simple architecture schema, where here we have the API creator. So it's probably a user that is going to be able to create all the APIs that the company or the user needs. And for that, it's possible to use the user interface API builder or the API builder REST application. These APIs are, we're going to call it like admin REST APIs. As we use objects, these REST APIs are available out of the box. So we are going to be able to operate over all the elements like endpoints, schema, etc., just by using those APIs with all the crude possible operation that now is possible to do with objects. So then this application or each schema needs objects also for in order to store the information that we receive or that we manage in these APIs that we want to create. So we're going to have here like another person or another user that is going to be the data creator or data manager, I would say. So when we create this API application, the API publisher is going to transform all that information into an OpenAPI definition entity. So we will provide the OpenAPI of those endpoints or applications, and then we will deploy a JAX-RS application with all the available endpoints that the API creator created using the admin REST API. And this is the data model that by the time this talk is happening, this is the current data model that we have for API Builder. We see here 6 different entities. The main one is the API application, and then from here we have different relationships between different entities. So, for example, we have like one-to-many relationship between the application and the endpoints. So we will be able to create as many endpoints as we want from this main application. Also, the schemas, we have one-to-many relationship. So, yeah, you can check with your Liferay DXP instance running. You can check all this data model.
Okay, so what can I do with API Builder? Easy, create APIs. No? The true thing is that API Builder is a new tool just to create everything you need. You can remove it, you can add it, you can update it. So it's fully scalable, okay? Apart from that, you can decide over your objects. As Carlos said, we work with objects and for objects. So over the objects that you have defined, you can decide which information you want to show, what type of endpoints do you want to create, okay, apart from the one that you have out of the box. And as I said before, it's portable because it's built with objects, so you can export and import the entry that you have inside the object, and you can take it from one side to the other, or one environment to the other, okay? And the structure is easy. We have API applications, and we have endpoints and schemas. In the schema side, is an easy way to decide, okay, I want to create a schema for the request and of the response. I just select the object that I'm going to use, and I check in the list of properties of fields that we have, and you create the schema with the structures that you need. even you can change the name of each property, or you can decide if you want to group some properties in one single element, wherever. Okay? And talking about the endpoints, right now we support 3 types of endpoints. Get that returns a collection of items, a get that returns only a single element, and in this case there's one important thing, that is you can select the field that you want to use in order to return or to decide which item do you want to return. Out of the box, you always have the ID and the external reference code, but you can select any unique custom field that you create in the object. Okay? And the other endpoint that you can create is the post, that is, well, in order to create a new item. Apart from that, in the get endpoints, you have the possibility to create pre-filtering or predefining sorting. That means that in this case, for example, imagine that you have an object called student and you want to create an endpoint, a get endpoint that returns the student that age are equal or greater than 20. Okay, so you can create the pre-filter, so everyone that calls this endpoint never have the result of any student that are under 20. That not means that if the user wants to use a filter, they can add it. Imagine that you want to filter apart from the age, using the country or the name or whatever. You can add the filter when you just make the call, the same way that you do right now, and both filters applies. Okay? It's a way just to be sure that the subset of information that you are going to share is the right one. And everything with OData. Okay? Nothing strange, nothing new to learn. Okay. And you could say, okay, Beni, it's fine. We have the applications, we have the schemas, we have the endpoints, everything is fine, but I want to work with it. Easy. Just only one click. When you publish your API application and everything is ready and you have the schemas in the request and the response and the endpoints, API Builder create your endpoints for you and are ready to use in that moment. So if you go to the API Explorer, you will see your application, and inside your application, you will see all the endpoints, oh my God, that you have created. Okay? If you change everything, you need to add a new endpoint, you need to modify a schema or something like that, you go to API Builder, you change it, publish, and suddenly you have the information ready to use. You don't want to play with API Builder endpoints using the API Explorer. Fine, you can use Postman, your code inside Liferay or outside Liferay, curl if you want, okay? So I think I'm talking too much.
No.
And I'm talking about theory. What do you think, Carlos?
Yeah, I think maybe it's time to play.
Time for a demo?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
So I'm gonna ask for some collaboration here. Next. Yeah. So guys, if you can scan this QR code or visit this URL. This is a GitHub repo that we have uploaded there. All the scripts that we have used to set the environment. But in this case, what we need is just to start the repo. Why? Because what we want to do is, we want to do is integrate GitHub with our Liferay system just by creating an API with API Builder. So we are going to set a configuration of a webhook with the URL of our Liferay instance. And then we will try to receive the events. In this case, it's going to be just the start event. And then we are going to try to show it in a page. Okay. So so yeah, this is the repo. So I'm gonna click to. So here we are.
You are so fast.
Yeah. So thank you guys. We are already receiving those events. So it's time to see how we did it. I'm gonna just log in to the app. Okay, from the GitHub side, we have this webhooks configuration. So I created a new webhook. Here I inserted, this is the public URL from my instance. So I deployed a Liferay instance at my local host, and I started in Grok instance to point. So this URL is pointing out my instance. So in this case, well, first of all, I have created an object called GitHub notification. Oh, sorry. So inside the Devcon 2024 folder, so GitHub notification, I included some fields like easy task, right? So I created these 5 fields just to include the type of event that I'm receiving, the date time, the user who sent who start my repo, and then URL for the avatar and URL for the GitHub repo of this user. So that was the first step. So then I have created this Liferay GitHub API application. So this is, as you see, this is like the first part of the URL. And then inside this application, I created one schema. So this GitHub notification, the name doesn't have to match with the name of the object. Okay, but in this case, I decided to make it simple, just to select the same name. And then in the properties, I added here from the GitHub notification object, the ones that I want to include in my first version of the schema. Well, it's important to say that this is under development in the user interface. In real, this sender or these two properties should be inside the sender field. This sender field is just, we'll say, like a complex field with some fields inside. We will see now the payload to understand better this structure. But it's just a matter of time that we provide a proper user interface for this use case. Okay? So if I have a look at these deliveries, okay, it's easy to see here the format of this payload. So I created here this action and started add field. So this action is going to fill the type field of the GitHub notification object, and this started add field is going to fill the datetime property of the GitHub notification object. So we see here is like in the first level, okay? And in the second level, there is like a field called sender. So I had to create by using the REST API, because as I show you, the UI is not available yet, but for that purpose, I just used the administration REST API that this is already developed there. So I used this sender. So I set inside this schema, this sender as a complex type, and inside the sender field, I created this login and this avatar URL. So with that, I created a post endpoint with this URL. So if we have a look at the URL from the webhook, so this is the last part of the URL. And then we are going to receive and return the GitHub notification schema. Well, in this case, it's not necessary to set our response schema, but by default, we usually always return the element that we recently created. So that's all. That's all, but No, I think I want to provide a. I think we have time. Yeah, we have time for
Go ahead.
for completing this use case. So as I show you, I created in the object GitHub notification object another field that we are not using. So this GitHub user URL. So I want to modify the schema. Okay, in order to get this HTML URL. So for example, this one, right? So I want to add a button in my view to visit this this URL. So then, sorry, I forgot to explain that in order to show this information, we used datasets. Datasets is also under feature flag. I strongly recommend you to attend this afternoon. I think it's 5:30 p.m.
5:30, yeah.
Yeah, it's a talk about datasets. So it's really easy to use. Just I created this GitHub notification dataset, selecting the GitHub notification object, and then I can create here a list visualization modes, and then I can create a page and in order to use this data set. So in this case, well, I prepare here, this is the, no, I don't know. I prepare here, this is all the scripts that are in the repo. So I'm gonna execute this script. Well, there is no trick. So here we are just calling the properties administration API, and I'm gonna create a property. So it's this one. So it's just a HTML URL, and we are gonna map to this external reference code of the field that we created previously from objects. So I'm gonna execute it. And then guys, if you can, again, press, well, maybe I can do it. Whoa. So, sorry, yeah.
I'm going to give an start too.
So then if I go to the GitHub notification, yeah, I see here we are already including the information that from the events that we are receiving into this field of the object. So the only missing part is, yeah, here I want a button to open the GitHub repo of the user who clicked in the star. So for that, it's really easy. I'm gonna go to the data sets. I'm gonna create action. So for example, GitHub repo. And here I have to insert the name of the field that I will use for the link. I'm gonna double check because just to be sure. So here, the user URL. So with the field name. So once we update this, yeah, we see here this button, and hopefully it will work. Yeah. So very simple, just yeah, you saw with just a request or even just using the user interface, it's really simple, an easy way to create an API or update our current API by adding more fields.
Great. Yeah, go ahead.
So, thank you. This is just a quick recap. So we created the GitHub notification object to persist the data from the event. We created the API Builder application by using the application's REST API, the administration. You can check later when you have time the repo, and you will see that there is just a script. In fact, I can remove everything from the Liferay instance and redeploy everything just a matter of, I would say, like 2 minutes or 1 minute, like manually. It's also possible to automate it. And then we created the API builder. application, then the endpoint, and the schema. And yeah, this is how we are showing the data. Here, Beni and myself.
The beta tester. Okay. So what's next? We have a lot of things to do inside API Builder. We are working in a lot of things, but these three are the most important one. First of all, security. Our commitment with the security is more than 100%, and we are working with API Builder in two ways. One, talking about internal users, we are going to include API Builder with root model, just to be sure that the administrator can set the roles or the permissions in order to create new APIs or to change the schemas or to create a new application, okay? And for external users, we are working in the way to set the possibility to decide, okay, I'm going to publish an API application with 3 endpoints, but 2 of them needs authentication and the other one is for guest users and everybody can use it, okay? The second one, that is the more obvious one, is that we need to complete the CRUD path, so we are going to implement the put, patch, and delete endpoints. And the last one is related to complex structures. As you see, we are working with objects, and in objects you can create relationships, as many as you want, but for now, in API Builder, the only thing that you can do is just create a kind of flat structure in the schema, so you cannot relate it one with the other. The next step is just to create this capability inside API Builder, so you can create as complex structures as you need. And we have a lot of more things that to do. But there's one thing that is very important for us and is related to you. It's true that it's in beta. It's true that maybe you can find some issues. But your feedback is very important for us. We need your feedback. We need you in order to say, okay, I'm just trying to do this and I cannot because there's some functionality that is not working, or it's something that I think could be a good thing in order to improve wherever you think that you need in your real project. So please, these days here with Carlos or with me, with a coffee or with a beer, wherever, we can talk about it or just send an email or wherever you need, okay? And
yeah, so I think there is no time for Q&A because it's already clicking the time.
Yeah.
So we are going to be around here, guys. So if you want to know something else or to ask something about API Builder, feel free to reach us. We're going to be here like the whole event. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.